You said that education was, you said it was good, it was in good health.
No, I didn't, I said,
not, is it?
No, it's in a terrible state. I think we had a good base in the sense that we have the free education system, and our literacy rates have gone up. We have met all the MDGs in terms of primary school enrollment, gender equality.
On a national level.
At a national level.
Right.
So when you look at that, we are much better, say, on the MDGs than many other countries. But now we have got to the point where the link between labor market demands and the supply from the education system is very tenuous. And I think the authorities have recognized this, and there have been reforms thought through, and the thinking is good, but the implementation of those reforms has been quite weak, in the sense that we don't have the capacity to deliver. Now I think this year the President himself has declared it the year of English and ICT and English. And the government has taken on as a policy the concept that we really need to improve the quality of English, which, I mean, the country needs a business language and in which you can, international language, and since we have the base, it's English. But when you look at the practical side of that, now the schools offer an English medium.
Sure. And have been for...
But if you really look, the English medium was basically to encourage children who come from Sinhala Tamil backgrounds to learn English language at a level where they can use it for communication. But if you look today, even for the O-levels, there are no textbooks in some of the subjects that are offered in English. The textbooks that are there do not contain the entire syllabus that the Sinhala textbook has. Last year I was told that one of the O-level papers, the translation, the Sinhala I think is the main paper, the translation of the exam paper was wrong. One subject, one question, paper had 2 questions translated wrong. And I don't know what it is like for the Tamil
so you have a language,
exam paper. So there is a problem of the capacity of the government and the country to deliver. So I think when I said focus on education, the first thing the government needs to do is to train its teachers to take this on board. I mean, I'm told China trained 1 million people in English for the Olympics. Why can't we just train people in the English language so that they can make this, if it's considered important, make the English medium reality.
I've heard that China is actually teaching thousands of students in French and international languages, so that they can get a grasp of the international business languages.
And I'm told that in, I think, is it the US that they're teaching Mandarin Chinese?
Absolutely.
Because of the 1.3 billion. So we have to be savvy about what's needed for our people.
I want to ask maybe a difficult question, but to in a sense, the bird's eye view again. The funding, the donor assistance for the war that we've got has been from certain countries. It is unlikely that these countries are going to be the same agencies that fund what you have been speaking about post-war. The argument is made that once we go back to the traditional donors, that conditionalities will be imposed on the government with regards to democratic governance, human rights, various other freedoms that have been questionable in its years after being elected into power. Now, how is that going to work out? I mean, will we then have a deficit of funding because of our resistance, or maybe continued resistance to those conditionalities for the vital tasks that you have mentioned? Could that be a scenario, you feel?
It's not clear. I did notice that in the last few years, as you rightly pointed out, the government chose to borrow commercially. I read the 500 million US dollar bond issue, sovereign bond issue a few years ago is one example, and in recent years, till the financial crisis, we were trying to borrow commercially, and I think in 2007, commercial debt was, I think, almost 49% of the borrowings of that year. Now, the government was, and also, as you said, they went away from the traditional donors, And the government was able to do that because the global financial climate was different. Now there's people basically don't have money to lend. On the other hand, the traditional donors, the international agencies, their business is lending. Their banks, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank. And I mean, I'm a little cynical and pragmatic about this. Finally, they can't survive unless they have people to lend to.
Sure.
So my thinking is that if we really bring an end to the military offensive, and we bring the entire country under one administration, from a humanitarian point of view, I think the donor agencies will come on board, will be compelled to, because whatever it is, the government is really trying to give their people all over the country, including those who are under LTT control in those areas.
Well, formally.
Yes. A chance, and the government also will need to put its money where its mouth is and really move forward and on bringing the North and the East, housing, as I said, all the utilities, electricity, water supply, maybe ports, the road network. There's a huge amount of work to be done.
All of it.
So I'm hoping that the donors will look at it that way.
Anila, I for the sake of our country's future, I hope you're right. And thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Mm-hmm.